Hey everyone, Cash here, back with another video from Madden 15, and today I bring you the beginning of the offseason in our connected franchise with the Detroit Lions. A little peek behind the curtain, I actually just recorded the VO for the Super Bowl from last week's video, so I'm a little bit wired still, and if you saw that video, you know that we won 21-17. What an amazing game that was. If you didn't see the video, I'll include a link to it below. Go check it out. It was an unbelievable game. But the reason you're seeing this screen to start out is because I was recording the first part of the offseason, the re-signing players in free agency, when suddenly, at the beginning of the free agency, my computer crashed and restarted, so I lost everything I had recorded up to there. Luckily, we only missed the re-signing of the players. I had just offered the first free agent, so I'm going to give you a rundown of those and then kind of piece together what we did in the re-signing and try to keep you up to date. So sorry about that, stupid computer, but let's get into it. Lance Briggs retires. That's our one guy that has retired. We re-signed Stephen Tulloch, give him 4 years, $28 million, a key part of that defense. Not super expensive, but he plays such an important part of our defense, I just could not let him go. Next up, Devin Taylor. I re-signed him, very cheap, just more of a depth guy because he actually didn't end up playing much because we switched to the 3-4. Devontae Freeman next, another cheap guy, but we are not re-signing Reggie Bush. So Devontae Freeman and Denard Robinson actually important re-signs because they will have an important part of this offense next year. Jarvis Jones, another guy with Lance Briggs retiring. We're going to bring him back. He'll be the backup on the right side of the linebacker core. Denard Robinson, as I said, re-signed him. Another cheap guy. Jarvis Jones as well was very cheap. And then George Baker, I don't know if he's going to make this team, but at $650,000, we'll bring him back. We'll see if he makes it through the preseason. So a look at the roster, who we didn't re-sign. We did not re-sign Phillip Rivers, so we're going to need another quarterback at wide receiver. I tried to re-sign Campbell Tompkins, but he did not want to come back, so we're going to have to look for another wide receiver. At left guard, we did not re-sign Zane Beadle, so we need another left guard. We need another left end, as I did not bring Corey Bierman back. We signed him before we switched to the 3-4, so he really did not play this year. We do not need to bring him back. At middle linebacker, we're going to need another middle linebacker there. We didn't not re-sign anybody, but actually Lance Briggs was playing middle linebacker, so because he retired, we're going to need him. And then at corner, we do not bring back Adam Jones or Bill Bentley, so we're going to need actually a couple of guys probably there. And then Don Carey, we don't re-sign, so we're going to need a backup free safety. Oh, and how can we forget the kicker? We didn't really use our kicker that much, so Blair Walsh, we're not going to bring him back. He wanted a decent amount of money, so we'll find just a cheap kicker. And then the biggest thing in the offseason, Tom Brady calling it quits, retires after 17 seasons. That was the biggest move I saw as far as retiring, so that's pretty big there. Now we'll move on to the free agency, and this is where we get to where I was before my computer crashed. We have 4 guys I have here. I offer Arthur Brown, a 3-4 middle linebacker. I think a perfect guy to provide some depth and possibly start maybe. We'll see. Morris Claiborne, a cheap guy. We need another third corner. I thought 3-4 corner. This is a guy that had a lot of potential but never really panned out. We'll see for very cheap if we can get him. Will Golson, a guy to provide some depth on the left edge. He is someone that was very good in college but hasn't really performed in the NFL. We'll see. He's pretty cheap. We'll bring him in, a young guy. And then Martavius Bryant, actually debated bringing him or Kendall Tompkins in at the beginning of last season. Decided on Tompkins. Happy we did because Tompkins played very well. But Bryant is going to allow us, if he does sign, to bring in another big wide receiver when Johnson or Sherrod needs to come out. And actually, he does accept our $830,000 offer. So very cheap for a backup wide receiver who has shown he can play very well. Now, for the rest of the guys, all still thinking about it, but at least I think we do lead in all 3 of them. So we'll see what happens with them. Maybe bump up each of the offers just to make sure, but we're going to go digging for some more. I'm going to show you around the league here. The top signing so far, Vincent Jackson goes to the Falcons, Xavier Rhodes to the Bears. And then you can kind of see some of the other guys kind of going too quick there. But now the available guys, Cameron Wake, Doug Martin, Kiko Alonso, who it would be nice to have him, but man, he is expensive. Anquan Bolden, Rob Baronis, Shorts, Keenan Allen, Wisniewski, Frederick, some of the guys available. Looking at the quarterbacks, a lot of guys here. EJ Manuel, Geno Smith, Phillip Rivers there. We just had him. Brian Hoyer, Stephen Tolzien, and some interesting names as you get towards the bottom, as I'm going to show you. Brian Hoyer, Christian Ponder, but there is Ryan Nassib, Jay Cutler still out there. Ben Roethlisberger, I was surprised to see him out there. I'm surprised the Steelers let him go, although he seems to have regressed a bit. At halfback, we got Doug Martin, Eddie Lacy, surprisingly a free agent, Arian Foster, DeMarco Murray, Joique Bell, just spends 1 year with the Cowboys, Zach Stacy. At wide receiver, Anquan Bolden, Keenan Allen, Marcus Colston, LaFell. And the issue here, it'd be great to have some of these guys, but we have some pretty good wide receivers, so I don't really think we're going to make any splashes into either halfback wide receiver, and I don't know if I'm even going to sign any of those quarterbacks. We can probably wait until after the draft, see if we pick anybody up. But there is one guy I noticed in here. Odell Beckham Jr. is a free agent. He's got 15 offers. Is only a 70 overall, but if you've seen him play in real life last year, this dude is an absolute monster. I know we have Keyshawn Martin, but I cannot not offer him a contract here. So we're going to throw an offer out to him, see what happens. For left guards, there's not a whole lot there, so I think we might have to address that in the draft. And then at free safety, a lot of options here. Not sure who we're going to go with, though. But eventually, I think we do land on someone. Actually, no, not right now. We'll go back to that. But before we move on to the next week, we do need a backup left tackle. Forgot about that. So looking through our options, I'm eventually going to settle on Byron Bell, a 28-year-old, a young guy who will provide some nice depth and is actually an upgrade over Burness Baxter, who is another guy I tried to re-sign. He's only like a 68 overall, but he rejected my offer in the re-signing period. So we're going to advance here. Let's see who we get. And we get no one. We'll see if that's good or bad. It looks like no one else has signed, so okay, all of our offers are outstanding. We're also leading in all of them still, so I think we'll just let them ride. I'm not going to put any more offers out there, so it looks like we're going to have to address free safety, left guard, and the quarterback position in the draft. So we'll advance here, and who did we get? And it looks like we might have gotten everyone. Arthur Brown signs, Byron Bell signs, Odell Beckham signs, Will Golston accepted, Morris Claiborne, and we've gotten everyone we went after. I guess that's the spoils of winning a Super Bowl. But now before we advance, let's take a quick look at the draft board of the players available. I haven't shown any scouting this year. I haven't actually really done a whole lot of scouting. We don't really have a lot of holes. Like last season, we ended up making 2 first-round picks, but they were huge because they filled 2 holes on our defense. And this year, I don't know if we really have a big hole. Left guard is probably the biggest one, but there really aren't any top-notch left guard prospects. But you can see as we go through the first round, it's a good mix of every position. Maybe the one place we could go, I do see a lot of cornerbacks on this list here in the first round, so maybe we could go corner in the first round. Maybe just provide some depth somewhere else. Maybe D-tackle, as we have moved Nick Fairley out to the outside, so we could maybe shore up that backup defensive tackle position. But I don't really know of anyone we're going to be drafting as a starter. We'll see what happens, though. The draft is going to be coming up in the next episode. I'll dive a little bit more deeper into the available prospects. So looking at some of the free agent signing, Kiko Alonso goes to the Chargers. Vince Wilfork signs with the Cardinals. Brandon Browner, the big corner, signs with the Eagles on a 1-year deal. A lot of 1-year deals. Eddie Lacy goes to the Bills, so we have got rid of him in Green Bay. That's nice to have him out of the division. Cameron Wake going to sign with the Giants on a 2-year deal. Kenny Vaccaro is going to go to the Rams on a 4-year deal. Let's see who else we got here. Jason Witten, leaving the Cowboys, going to the Colts. Leon Hall going to sign with the Jets. Travis Kelce leaves the Chiefs. We just played him. He signs a $27 million. We're going to see him in the division. Wes Welker signs with the Titans. And Anquan Bolden signing with the Rams. So that's some of the free agent signings. Looking now to see who is left out there. And there are a lot of names on this list. So if we cannot fill some of our needs in the draft, we can most definitely find some serviceable guys in free agency. Some of these big names out here. And then looking at quarterbacks, Ben Roethlisberger's still out there. Surprised he didn't sign, but that name really intrigues me to possibly go with as a third quarterback if we cannot find someone in the draft. But now looking at our picks, and I didn't realize this until I looked at it, but I forgot we traded Joique Bell to the Cowboys for the first-round pick, and also didn't realize the Cowboys finished badly in the standings. We have the 9th pick in the first round. We won the Super Bowl, and we now have 2 first-round picks, so I don't know what we're going to do with that. We also have 2 second-rounders. We have a third, a fourth, 3 sixes. We have so many draft picks. We most definitely don't need to use all of them, so I can almost guarantee we're going to be making some moves in the draft. I don't know whether that means to move up or to move down. Maybe trade picks for actual players because we have won a Super Bowl. We really just need maybe a couple pieces that we lost to restock and go right back at it. I think this team could be very good again next year, but I don't know. A lot of opportunities, a lot of things differently we could do here in this draft. But at least for this first part of the offseason, that is going to be it. You will see the draft in the next video. If you enjoyed this one, please go ahead and give it a like. I'd really appreciate it. Subscribe to see any future videos that I make. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.